When you're trying to beat something, the very last thing you expect to hear is that the problem is actually the solution. But right there, the title of our source material throws down a serious challenge. Addiction is the cure. It immediately tells you that the way we normally think about this stuff, it might be totally backward. Instead of just trying to get rid of an addiction, this framework says we have to understand its power and figure out how to aim it somewhere else. And this right here is where everything flips on its head. I want you to forget the idea that you're broken or weak. This source argues that what feels like a weakness is really just a misdirected intensity. It says you're a high-performance machine. Think of it like you have the engine of a Ferrari. The problem isn't the power, not at all. The problem is that this incredible engine is just stuck, spinning its wheels in the mud instead of flying down an open highway. So that leads to the big question, right? A question so many of us have probably asked ourselves 1,000 times. If you have this powerful, high-performance engine, why does it feel like you're constantly stuck, just fighting the same battle over and over again, and getting absolutely nowhere? And here's the answer. This is the pivot. The reason the fight feels impossible is because we've got the enemy wrong. We've got the battlefield wrong. We're fighting the wrong war with the wrong map. It's time to completely redefine the fight. So what is the real battle then? Well, according to this source material, this isn't about some personal failing or just not having enough willpower. No, this is framed as a full-blown spiritual war for your destiny. And this slide just lays it all out, side by side. On the left, you've got the usual diagnosis, right? It's a chemical thing, a lack of willpower, a personal failure. But look at the right. It's a totally different reality. Your intensity, that powerful engine, it's been hijacked and aimed at destruction. This isn't a flaw in your design. This is an all-out attack on your purpose. Okay, so if it's a war, how in the world do you fight it? Well, the source gives us a powerful strategy, and it's called divine displacement. And the core idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly profound. You cannot win by creating a void. You just can't. So here's the deal. Just trying to quit is a losing strategy. Think about it. Nature hates a vacuum. If you just empty out that space, that old habit is going to rush right back in, probably even stronger. The only winning move is to displace it. You have to actively fill that space with something bigger, something stronger, leaving zero room for the old stuff to come back. And this, right here, just nails the whole concept. It's not about fighting a shadow in the corner of the room. It's about flipping on the lights. Real freedom doesn't come from being empty. It comes from being completely full of something else, something so much greater. Oh man, I love this quote because it just cuts right to the chase. Hating your addiction isn't enough fuel. White-knuckling it isn't enough. The real change happens when you find a new passion, a new purpose, a new love that is so big and so compelling that it literally crowds out everything else. So how do we actually do this? How do we apply this idea of displacement in the real world? The source points to one of the most powerful weapons we have, serving a purpose that is higher than yourself. This is where purpose really starts to replace the poison. And just look at the contrast here. Addiction, at its core, is all about self. It's selfish, it isolates you, it consumes you, it turns everything inward. But service, worship, that's the complete opposite. It's about surrender, it's about being accountable, it's about connecting to something way bigger than yourself. This shift is a game changer. See, service is such an effective weapon for a few reasons. First, it creates accountability. Suddenly, other people are counting on you. It also keeps you positioned, which means you're spiritually awake, you're on your toes. And maybe most importantly, it makes you a vessel, not just a consumer, which completely shatters the selfish grip of addiction. It becomes a direct act of spiritual warfare. All right, let's switch gears now from the spiritual why to the tactical how. This is about taking all these big ideas and building them into a daily game plan. And the source calls this the zero-room schedule. First things first, you have to know the enemy's territory, and that is the danger zone. What is it? It's any empty, unstructured block of time in your day. Boredom, idleness, that's the soil where cravings grow best. That's when the old habits come knocking on the door. So the strategy is simple. You leave zero room for those danger zones. You get ahead of it by filling your day with purpose. The source suggests a really powerful structure. Kick off your morning with deep learning. In the middle of the day, an hour of intense craft, something that demands your full focus.
And then you end the day with spiritual connection and planning out the next day's battle. You're filling every potential vacuum before it even exists.
Okay, but what happens when a craving hits you out of nowhere, like a sudden ambush? You need an immediate, automatic plan. This is your emergency protocol. Listen, you can't outthink a craving, but you can outmove it. This is a 3-step drill for immediate action. Step 1, change your environment. Physically get up and leave the room, right now. Step 2, engage your new craft. That thing you're passionate about, go do it for just 5 minutes to hijack your focus. And step 3, speak victory. You have to break the silence. Verbally command victory out loud. And this brings us right back around to the single most powerful idea in all of this. Your greatest struggle. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of your greatest strength just being aimed at the wrong target. You have the Ferrari engine. You have the open highway. Now, it's time to drive. So, here's what I want you to walk away with. That intense, obsessive focus, the thing you might have thought was your curse, it's actually your greatest gift. It is the engine that can build an absolutely incredible life. The only question left is, where are you going to point it now?